Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for you. This morning I wanted to go back to HTTP requests in VA Smalltalk. And the last time you noticed that what we did is we set up our client on a specific transport scheme, started it up, and then did a get, and then shut the client down. And that seemed a little long-winded, and it turns out there are easier ways of doing this in VA Smalltalk, although we end up using the same base code. It's just that they shield you a little bit from that. If you create an URL object, go ahead and create a string on some URL like my blog here, and then send SST as URL to it. You can then fetch it. And this will work for file URLs as well as HTTP URLs. And then you can go ahead and do this. And if you do an inspect on the results, you'll find you get the same kind of HTTP response you expected before. But if you go over here, you'd find that when you do this, sorry, I got the wrong browser window. Go over here, you find that fetch goes ahead and sends fetch message, which then sets up exactly the same sequence of events we did before. And then it just returns the result of client get, which is all we did up here. So it turns out that you can do exactly the same thing that you did with this long-winded thing with this short-winded thing. Also, I don't have a proxy server set up handy in a way that I can access from my machine that I do these screencasts on. But if you have a proxy setup and you need to work with that, all you need to do is SST transport, do a configuration registry at, and oddly enough this is HTTPL, not what you might expect, and then set up the proxy URL on whatever this URL would be, SST as URL, and you'll get proxy services. And then whenever you do this, you don't have to include the proxy service in that. It's going to be used for you until you go ahead and shove nil in here so that there's nothing being used as a proxy. So the thing is, you set up a proxy this way, and then over here just continue to do your request the way you normally would, and they'll use the proxy server, and then you'll get whatever response the proxy server sends you, which, depending on where you work, maybe good results or bad results. It all depends what kind of filtering they do or don't do where you work. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with whatever Smalltalk you're using.